Welcome back to Exotic Car Play Place, everyone. Thanks for joining in on this beautiful sunny afternoon. Today we're going to dive into Lexus and why they're actually losing touch with the customer base. This could in fact be a strong indicator that Lexus is about to hit the end. Why is this? We're going to talk about it now. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Mark with Exotic Car Play Place. And today, so do you remember a few short years ago, Lexus had some great cars. They had the LFA, that fire-breathing V10 engine that made over 550 horsepower, one of the very best in the breed. As well, they made the ISF, another great car back in the day. That was a competition, a serious competition for the M3 BMW. Now, Lexus had a real opportunity here. There was rumors that the 2021 IS would be restyled, revamped, have some serious powertrains, possibly even utilize the same B58 engine that is found in the Toyota Supra today. Now, sadly, it's been released that is no longer the case. Currently, all they're doing is more or less a minor facelift. Now, the drivetrains in this new IS look to be still the 240 horsepower 2-liter turbocharged 4-banger, or a lowly V6 3.5 liter that makes about 260 horsepower, or the hotted up version 311 horsepower 3.5 liter V6. Great engines, solid powertrains, and again, in Lexus format, they typically stick with what they know. However, they're not pushing the envelope. Now, rumors has it that the IS 500 may be available, and that's looking like a twin-turbo 3.5 liter V6 that would make over 400 horse, closer to 420 horsepower. So those are potential options, but it's not been said yet or committed that that in fact is going to happen. Now, the unfortunate part is they're not committing, and also on top of it, they've lost the GS, the wonderful sporty GS car as well, and the IS is supposed to take the place. Now, sadly, they're selling off their cars in favor of the SUV and the hybrids. Now, while they're trying to stay ahead of the hybrid game, they're letting go of all the driver's vehicles, the cars. But let's do a quick walk what we can expect on the new IS. Now, this is an existing IS, this isn't the new version, but what they're saying is the new IS is going to do away with the overly aggressive front end. They're going to reduce the spindle look. They're going to take away a lot of the silliness that a lot of people aren't in love with, the spindle grille. What they're also planning on doing is softening up the lines, having less juts. Sounds like an overall rounded off appeal. The front end's going to be a little softer. What they are in fact going to do is, looking along the side of the vehicle here, is talk about more flair. The new IS is expected to have a little bit more flair on the back, giving it a little bit more stout look, but still based on the same rear-wheel drive platform that you found in the existing IS model. Now, while that's all well and good, underneath it's still largely the same. You get the same powertrains as I mentioned already, you get the same 8-speed automatic and the possibility of an all-wheel drive system as you find in this version as well, but that only comes with the V6 engine as a potential. Some other things that they're talking about doing is revamping the interior to follow suit, sort of to take the place of the GS that went away. Now, if you look at the current IS, it's a little bit simplified. It still has a very much a Toyota look to it. Now, what they are trying to do on one hand is bridge the gap between the two cars, the GS and the IS, by improving the overall luxury appeal on the IS cars, giving a little bit more sportiness, but sadly they're not giving it the bang. They're not even committing to that twin turbo V6 that they've suggested. So what does all of this really mean? Sure, you've got a cleaned up version of the existing IS that's expected to come out in 2021. It will look a little bit tidied, cleaned up, but again, largely the same chassis. And this has been an ongoing theme with Lexus in the fact that they don't push the boundaries. They're falling further and further behind, and they seem to be fine with that. There's a small following of this car. Maybe if they push the boundaries, like some of the other Euro brands, they might find themselves in a place where these cars are becoming more appealing to the buyers. But instead, they focus a lot more attention on the SUVs, and they are popular. However, there's still a market for car enthusiasts that enjoy the car right here, like in the IS. This has a real potential, but it seems for this next generation, it's more of just a warm over than an absolute revamp. And so what does all this really mean at the end of the day? Yes, the new version is going to be a little cleaner, a little tidier, but it's really not going to have anything that's going to blow your mind. Lexus has obviously trended downwards, getting rid of all of their high performance cars because they're low volume cars that don't particularly sell well. The LFA was a loss. There was no question that car was a loss. However, a little bit better control of money matters and planning on the front end could also create a car similar to that in today's day and age and be very competitive with some of the serious cars that you find in Europe. So unfortunately, Lexus is playing it safe again, providing us with a good, safe, reliable transportation. But unfortunately, they're losing the real clientele, the people that enjoy driving the cars. And as a result, they're really turning their back on the creative engineers that they have tucked away behind those walls at Lexus, who have the capability. And yes, they have the ability to create something special, and they're not exercising that. Instead, they're going with the hybrids and the basic mode of transportation. While that seems popular for sales, there is certainly no passion, and at some point, the company may just become vanilla yogurt. And sadly, if I can express this in one simple term, think about it, everyone out there. For those of you who have ever had an experience on a roller coaster for the first time, you got off of that roller coaster. You were exhilarated, your hair was a mess, you were out of breath, and it was absolutely breathtaking. But sadly, that's not what you're going to find with the Lexus brand. They have the capability, they have the technology, and they have the engineering, but they're not exercising their opportunity to engage in some of that market where there's real enthusiasts who have a real passion for the drive, and instead they'd just rather sell it to people who just want to lock it and load it, set it in cruise control, recline the seat, grab a cigarette and a coffee, lay back, and let the car get you to your destination. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button down there, as well as the notifications bell. Don't forget, right there, if you want to learn more about 2020's preferred luxury cars, you're going to love that video. Hope to catch you guys real soon. See you then. Bye-bye.